Hi, my name is Catherine Walters, and I'm a local artist here, celebrating other local artists. And here we have Jan Michelle Sawyer, who's a sculptor, and her main focus is historical figures. And so I'm really excited to get talking more about that in her past in academia. Tell me about these sculptures that you create, highlighting historical.
Well, I create sculptures out of clay to start with, and they're either cast in bronze or they're cast in a resin or they're left to dry naturally. I like the bronze because it's just so magnificent and gorgeous. And it takes a while to do the whole process.
How long does it take?
Well, it just depends what I'm sculpting. So I'm doing a bust right now of Ellen Clark Sargent.
And tell us about her.
Okay. So, yeah, it's been an interesting story about Ellen. So this is my second sculpture, and it's from the head to the chest, and she'll be cast in bronze. But she's in clay right now.
Okay. So you first do the clay and then you use, okay.
And then we make a mold of it. There's so many steps. But from the mold, we make a wax casting. And then that's taken to the foundry and they do their magic to burn the wax out and turn it into bronze.
Yeah.
So.
And I love you. We were just talking a little while ago, and you were telling me how this very interesting statistic.
Oh, yeah. It's shameful.
It is shameful.
That's why I did this.
Which I think is, so yes, tell everyone what the statistic is.
Well, I got interested in my later career here and doing more women of notable deeds and accomplishments. So I came across this statistic that just blew my mind, and that is in the United States alone, there are a little over 5,000 public sculptures that are permanent. You know, they've been installed someplace. And out of that 5,000, there's only like 480 of those sculptures are of women. So that really just
mind-blowing.
That really blew my mind pretty much.
It's disturbing. Yeah.
Yeah. So I just in my later career here, I just said that I would make an effort to start sculpting women who have not been recognized for great things. I mean, I could just pick anybody because there's so many.
Yeah.
And so.
Tell me some of the women you've highlighted.
Well, I've done men. When I lived in Hawaii, put my foot in my mouth. But no, when I lived in Hawaii, I was there for 20 years, and I sculpted Israel Kamakawiwo'ole. He is the man who sang "Over the Rainbow," so everybody knows him for that. And that's a public sculpture that's permanently
really cool.
installed.
That's beautiful.
And then I created two more people, Gabby Pahinui, and he's at the Waikiki show.
That's really great. And you're a doctor as well,
A professor.
Professor, studied, and tell me how that has influenced your art.
Well, I think, you know, as I mentioned, I really enjoyed going to graduate school. It was just so free, you know.
Can you tell me what your degree was?
Well, it's a strange.
It's so interesting.
It's a long name.
Yeah.
It's Learning and Change in Human Systems. So basically, I was studying systems theory, and I was teaching communication. So I just started, you know, my dissertation was combining those two: systems theory, how that works, and communication, how adults communicate.
So how you were telling me it was how we apply what we've learned, basically, or?
Yeah, that was one of the, it was a brand new program, and so what they were interested, the professors there, they were interested in showing how when we learn something new, It affects us neurologically, but it also can lead to change. So it's learning and change in human systems.
Yeah.
That's why they came up with this really long name.
I love it. Well, it's interesting that you then, I'm guessing it was after you decided to go into sculpture?
Well, I
Or was it?
yeah, a little bit after, and I was 40 years old, and I asked myself, well, what did I want to do for the next 40 years? And I always had an interest in sculpture, but I never had a thought that I could do it. And I always encourage people, just get in there, just get in there and try, because you never know what you're going to discover.
Yeah.
So when I started, it wasn't very good. But my learning curve was very fast.
Yeah.
And that's probably because of my desire and my intention and my willingness. So I took just about I took all the classes at the University of Hawaii.
That's so great.
They told me I had to enroll as a student, which I thought was really funny since I was teaching there.
Yeah.
But I took all their courses, and then I went on to take, 4-day courses, 3-day courses, 2-day courses on the mainland. So I was traveling back and forth, and sometimes I would tell my students, oh, I'm really sick today, I'm catching something. Get on the plane Thursday night, fly over, and come back Sunday night for Monday's class.
Wow.
Fortunately, I was not caught doing that. I might have been fired, who knows. But I nothing was going to stop me. I was just like buying books and talking to people who were sculptors. I was just like taking it all in.
It became your passion.
Yes.
I love that you were learning about learning. You went into a brand new field yourself, and yeah,
that's a good point.
So wonderful. So tell me, where can people come see your sculptures?
Well,
your sculptures.
You could go to Hawaii.
All right, everybody go to Hawaii.
Take me with you.
Me too.
I lived there for 20 years, and it's my heart home. It really is. Oh, I didn't mean to cut that out.
Say that again, maybe. It's my...
I lived in Hawaii for 20 years, and it is my heart home. One of the sculptures I did of a woman you had asked previously
Oh, yeah, Ellen.
is of, Ellen Clark Sargent. I'm working on right now for Nevada City. And in Hawaii, I did a sculpture of Donis Thompson, and she was the champion for Title IX. So Patsy Mink, who was our House of Representative, she and another lawyer wrote Title IX, the whole description of it.
Okay.
And Donis was the person who took that and implemented it the first time in the United States. So she got a lot of hate stuff, but she was department director for the women's athletic department.
Okay.
So she said, I'll do it. And she told me once that every day she'd go to work and be so worried that somebody was going to fire her. But what's interesting, when she started the program, the women's program, and particularly volleyball, was just nothing. They had like $1,000 budget. And she took that and made it into like $500,000, $1 million.
Amazing.
Yeah, because people did want to see women's volleyball. And she had been restrained from doing that until Title IX came around. So if you go to the Stan Sheriff Arena, you'll find her.
So tell me, why is sculpture so important?
Well, it's been a great recorder of history. We know what a lot of the ancients look like in Rome and Greece because of these sculptures, when you think about it.
Yeah.
And bronze will not break down. So, they've pulled up sculpture from the ocean and in the dirt, and they're intact.
Yeah.
The bronze just will not break down.
Which,
Yeah.
I think that makes your work even more powerful. You're creating women and they're not gonna
No.
break down.
No, unless somebody picks it up.
They better not. Yeah.
And said, I'll take that. I have had people steal sculpture from me, which is interesting. At the foundry, when there's nobody looking around, there's a lot of people.
Because it's worth, the bronze is worth.
No, they wanted the sculpture.
They wanted the sculpture. Oh, good. Okay.
Actually, that one right there, somebody stole it.
Oh.
Yeah, so anyway, but the thing about sculpture, it's creating something out of nothing. And we get to work with our hands in an organic way. It's a tough road.
Yeah.
It's not like painting something and then you could slide it into a slot.
Right. Yeah. There's no hiding.
Yeah. No, it takes up a lot of room and it's expensive. It takes time. But it's very rewarding in the sense that you do get a strong feeling that you're creating something out of nothing.
Yeah.
And it's organic, because, like I said, it's of clay. And I always tell people who've taken classes from me that we're all artists and we're all creative. And all that we have to do is have a willingness and an intention to try.
Yeah. Oh, I love that.
And that's what I did. I mean, I think my first sculpture I was so happy about it. Yeah, I was like ecstatic. And then a friend of mine, a very old friend from high school, visited me and stayed at my house, and she looked at it and she started laughing. So you're going to get a lot of people who aren't real supportive.
Yeah.
But you have to have that willingness and intention and just a real gut desire.
As an artist, it doesn't speak to everybody, of course, but I really think it's beautiful what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate
highlighting women. Yes, the importance of us in history. So thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome.
And sharing what you do. Do you have a website that people can visit?
I have one website that I'm working on. I haven't published it. It's called Her Story in Art. So that's going to be a website where we start talking about this, that women have been left out of the arts. Really.
They have, yeah. I love your highlight, on women.
Yeah.
Women focus.
I mean, when I was a child, I think I was about 4 years old, we had a big art book that was so thick. And I'd go and look at it, and it was full color. It was so beautiful, and it had color plates. And I'm like, And I realized there are no paintings here of women, done by women. You know, I was just a little kid. Yeah. And so what happened?
This is the origin.
What happened is that I did not think being a painter or an artist was a profession that women could do. And that started at 4 or 5 years old. I just really believed, because I never saw it, I never heard anybody talk about it, that was just like being a fireman or something, that women did not do art.
Yes.
How sad.
I know. And now you are embodying, you're now showing the world,
Well, I one sculpture at a time.
Yes.
And it's been a great honor to be able to
it's beautiful.
Find that it was lying deep inside, and I didn't know it.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, I didn't think women were artists. So it took a while. That's why I took it up when I was 40 years old.
Oh, that's wonderful. I'm so happy that you were able to share your story with us. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Appreciate that.